Or, gentlemen, let's be honest, being hurt by a woman you care about can feel like the deepest cut. It's not just the words she said, the betrayal she caused, or the rejection she gave. It's the trust you invested, the love you poured out, and the energy you gave without holding back. But here's the truth you need to hear today. Or the way you respond to pain will either make you weaker, bitter, and broken, or it will make you wiser, stronger, and unstoppable. When a woman hurts you, or the natural reaction is to confront her, to demand an explanation, or to prove your worth through words and actions. This reaction, however, is often fueled by raw emotions, and it rarely brings peace or closure. Detachment is the discipline of refusing to be controlled by that storm of feelings. By pulling back, you give yourself time to breathe, or think and regain composure. The first step of dignity is silence, because silence allows you to control what she cannot, your own reaction. In conclusion, or silence protects your power. Walking away with dignity doesn't mean you're weak, nor does it mean you don't care. In fact, it means the opposite. It shows that you value yourself too much to stay in an environment that damages your peace. Or chasing after someone who has already hurt you only diminishes your self-respect. When you withdraw, you signal that you will not beg for love or attention, or that simple act of leaving quietly speaks louder than any angry words or accusations ever could. In conclusion, walking away proves self-respect. Or the reason detachment works is because emotions are temporary, but your actions leave permanent impressions. When you react with desperation, that moment can haunt you for years. Or, on the other hand, if you step back and remain calm, you gain control of your story. Or emotional detachment allows you to analyze what really happened without the fog of pain clouding your judgment. You protect your dignity, not by controlling her choices, but by controlling your own. In conclusion, detachment shields you from regretful reactions. Or a man's dignity is not measured by how loudly he speaks, but by how calmly he walks away. Emotional detachment is not running away from pain, or it is refusing to let pain dictate your next move. When you detach, you break the invisible chain that ties your self-worth to her validation. Suddenly, she realizes that she no longer has control over your mind or emotions. And that realization is powerful. It often speaks more than revenge ever could. In conclusion, detachment sends a powerful unspoken message. Many men stay in toxic situations because they confuse love with attachment. They think that holding on will heal what is broken. But in reality, clinging only worsens the wounds. True strength comes when you have the courage to say, "I deserve better," and actually walk away. Or, the woman who hurts you may never apologize or even acknowledge the pain she caused, but that doesn't matter. What matters is how you honor yourself after the betrayal. Or, in conclusion, walking away is an act of self-preservation. Detachment also gives you the gift of perspective. While in the heat of pain, your vision is blurred, and emotions exaggerate every detail. By walking away, you create distance, not only physically but mentally. This distance gives you the clarity to evaluate whether she was truly worth your investment of time and heart. You might discover that her actions revealed her true nature, and you escaped something far worse. In conclusion, distance brings clarity, and clarity strengthens dignity. Dignity is about refusing to fight battles that strip you of peace. Or when you argue, when you plead, when you try to force her to see your value, you hand her the keys to your emotions. Or detachment is the act of locking those keys inside your own pocket and refusing to give them away. Or you don't need her approval to validate your worth. You already know who you are. Walking away, therefore, is not defeat, it's ultimate control. In conclusion, dignity is control over your emotions. The beauty of detachment lies in its quiet strength. Anyone can explode in anger, anyone can scream, but very few can walk away without saying a word. That silence unsettles people more than anger ever could, because it reflects maturity, composure, and self-command. Or, when you remain silent, you give her nothing to use against you and everything to think about later. Or, the calmness you display in that moment defines you far more than any argument could. In conclusion, silence demonstrates unshakable strength, or detachment and dignity also set the tone for future relationships. When you practice self-respect now, you establish boundaries that protect you later, or you show others that you do not tolerate disrespect, that your love is valuable, and that it should not be taken lightly. Or a man who can walk away from what hurts him is a man who commands respect not just from women, but from everyone around him. He becomes an example of self-mastery. Or in conclusion, detachment builds unbreakable standards. Ultimately, detachment and dignity are about reclaiming your power. Pain may shake you, but it doesn't have to define you. By walking away, you are not running, you are rising above the chaos. Or you teach yourself that your value doesn't depend on who stays or who leaves. It rests in your ability to respect yourself enough to let go of what harms you. Or the woman who hurt you may or may not regret her actions, but you will never regret choosing peace. In conclusion, detachment is the true path to freedom. Or pain is a powerful emotion, but what you do with that pain determines whether it destroys you or strengthens you. When a woman hurts you, or it is easy to drown in self-pity and replay the event endlessly in your mind. But replaying the pain won't heal you. It will only keep you stuck. Instead, or redirect that emotional energy into something that builds you. Growth is the best response to hurt, or because it transforms what could have been wasted suffering into meaningful progress. In conclusion, pain becomes fuel when you redirect it toward growth. Or the gym is one of the most effective outlets for transforming pain into growth. Physical training does more than sculpt the body. It sharpens the mind, disciplines the spirit, or proves to you that you can endure discomfort and still rise stronger. Every repetition is a reminder that pain doesn't last forever, but strength does. Or, by building your health, you create a visible transformation that not only heals but inspires confidence. In conclusion, or turning emotional hurt into physical strength accelerates both healing and empowerment. Financial growth is another area where you can channel the energy of pain. Or many men waste valuable time chasing closure while their goals and potential sit untouched. Redirecting energy toward building income, mastering investments, or learning new skills transforms heartbreak into opportunity. Not only does this give you independence, but it ensures that your future is not tied to the approval of anyone else. Financial growth becomes proof that you are unstoppable even after being broken. In conclusion, or investing in your financial success converts pain into long-term security and power. Education and self-mastery are also vital when shifting focus. Or instead of spending sleepless nights questioning her choices, spend them feeding your mind. Read books, take online courses, or study subjects that sharpen your thinking and expand your worldview. Growth of the mind makes you resilient because no one can take away the knowledge you acquire. Or by growing mentally, you raise your standards and attract higher quality people into your life. In conclusion, or expanding your knowledge turns emotional wounds into a foundation for wisdom and progress. Spiritual growth is equally important when recovering from pain. Often, or heartbreak shakes us at the core, making us question our purpose and identity. Instead of allowing despair to take over, or use the experience to strengthen your spiritual grounding through prayer, meditation, or reflection, you reconnect with your inner self and the higher meaning of life. Or this gives you peace that no human can provide. When you focus on spiritual development, pain transforms into guidance. In conclusion, or spiritual strength allows you to turn heartbreak into a deeper connection with peace and purpose. Or redirecting pain into personal projects creates fulfillment that no relationship can replace. Whether it's starting a business, writing, painting, or pursuing a passion, or investing your time in something meaningful brings both joy and accomplishment. Projects give you a sense of direction and allow you to build something lasting. Or while relationships can fail, what you create with your hands, mind, and soul belongs to you forever. Or each step of progress becomes proof that you are capable of thriving beyond heartbreak. In conclusion, creative and personal pursuits transform pain into lasting fulfillment. Or self-care and emotional discipline are part part of growth too. When hurt, many men turn to destructive habits, alcohol, anger, or distractions, but discipline means refusing to escape pain through destruction. Instead, care for your mental health through journaling, healthy routines, therapy, or even spending time in nature. These actions don't erase the pain instantly, but they help you process it in healthy ways. Over time, this strengthens emotional intelligence and resilience. In conclusion, disciplined self-care allows pain to teach you balance instead of breaking you further. Growth also comes through building stronger social connections. Pain can isolate you, making you feel like no one understands. But this is the time to connect with supportive friends, mentors, or communities that uplift you, or positive people challenge you to keep moving forward instead of sinking into despair. Or relationships built during times of growth are often more authentic because they are formed without dependency or desperation. Or surrounding yourself with strength turns pain into unity. In conclusion, strong connections help you rise from heartbreak with support and encouragement. Ultimately, shifting focus from pain to growth transforms your identity. You are no longer the man defined by what happened to you, but the man who rose despite it. Every area you improve, health, finances, knowledge, spirit, projects, habits, and relationships, becomes a pillar of strength. Pain is temporary, but the growth you build from it becomes permanent. You stop asking why it happened and instead thank the pain for forcing you to level up. In conclusion, growth is the ultimate answer to heartbreak because it builds a version of you that cannot be broken again. When a woman hurts you, the first temptation is often to strike back, or you may feel the urge to prove you are better off, to show her she lost something valuable, or to make her jealous. This instinct is natural, but it is also a trap. Seeking revenge or validation only keeps you tied to the very person who caused your pain. True strength lies in rising above the need for acknowledgement. In conclusion, the refusal to seek revenge is the first step to genuine emotional freedom. Revenge may feel satisfying for a moment, but it rarely brings peace. If you hurt her back, you become no different from the one who caused you pain. Instead of healing, you stay stuck in a cycle of bitterness, and that bitterness poisons your spirit. Even if she notices your retaliation, the satisfaction fades quickly, leaving you empty again. Peace cannot come from hurting another, it only comes from healing yourself. In conclusion, revenge never provides true closure, it only deepens wounds that were already there. Validation is another dangerous trap. When you try to prove your worth by flaunting success, posting pictures, or showing her you've moved on, you are still performing for her approval. That means she still controls your actions, even if she is no longer in your life. A man who needs validation from the one who hurt him is not free yet. Real power is when you no longer care whether she sees or recognizes your progress. In conclusion, seeking validation keeps you chained to the past instead of moving forward. Indifference is the greatest weapon against hurt. Not anger, not revenge, not pride, but genuine indifference. When you no longer react to her actions, you show that your peace is no longer dependent on her behavior, that silence and lack of response often impact her more than anything else. She expected drama, emotion, or pleading, but you gave her nothing. And in giving nothing, you gave yourself everything: freedom, dignity, and control. In conclusion, indifference communicates strength louder than any attempt at revenge or validation ever could. Revenge also wastes valuable energy. The hours you spend plotting, posting, or proving could be invested in building your future. Imagine if all that energy went into your fitness, your business, your education, or your passions. Instead of temporary satisfaction, you would create permanent results that no one can take away. Revenge builds nothing. It only distracts you from your potential. But growth builds everything. It turns heartbreak into a stepping stone toward greatness. In conclusion, wasting energy on revenge delays growth, while discipline guarantees lasting success. Those who seek revenge often regret it later. When the anger fades, you look back and realize your actions only lowered your own standards. Your legacy should not be shaped by pain, but by progress. When you maintain composure, you protect your reputation and your dignity. People respect the man who refuses to be dragged down by bitterness more than the one who fights dirty. Or your silence and maturity will outlast the moment of hurt. In conclusion, revenge stains your dignity while composure protects your legacy. Validation also reveals insecurity. Or when you try to show someone that you are happy without them, you expose that their opinion still matters to you. Or confidence is not displayed through loud statements, but through quiet self-assurance. The man who doesn't need to announce his progress is the man who has truly healed. Or real growth cannot be faked. It shines naturally through your life, not through stage displays. In conclusion, the need for validation is weakness. But true healing eliminates the need to prove anything. Revenge and validation also keep you emotionally stuck. Instead of releasing the pain and moving forward, or you keep circling back to her in your mind. Every post, every thought of "I'll show her" keeps her presence alive in your heart. But healing requires cutting that cord completely. You cannot step into your future if your eyes remain fixed on the past. Or let her live with her choices while you live with your growth. In conclusion, the refusal to seek revenge or validation clears the path to true healing. Ultimately, the greatest victory is peace. When you let go of the need to hurt back or prove yourself, you rise above the situation completely. You show that her actions may have shaken you, but they did not define you. The man who forgives, detaches, and grows stands taller than the man who seeks validation or revenge. Your peace, your growth, and your freedom are the rewards of discipline. In conclusion, the ultimate success after heartbreak is indifference, dignity, and peace of mind. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as weakness, but in truth, it is one of the greatest signs of strength. When a woman hurts you, the bitterness can linger like a poison, slowly consuming your peace. Many men hold on to grudges, thinking it gives them power, but in reality, it only keeps them tied to the pain. Forgiveness is not about letting her back into your life. It is about releasing the weight she left on your shoulders. In conclusion, forgiveness is not surrender, but the reclaiming of your inner freedom. Holding on to anger is like carrying a burning coal. You are the one who keeps getting burned. Every time you think of her betrayal, the fire reignites, damaging your peace and distracting you from growth. The longer you carry resentment, the heavier it becomes, until it shapes your entire outlook on life. Forgiveness is the act of dropping that coal, not for her sake, but for your own. It allows you to move forward unburdened. In conclusion, letting go of anger through forgiveness protects your spirit from being consumed by bitterness. Forgiveness also breaks the cycle of emotional dependency. When you keep replaying the pain, you are still giving her power over your emotions. She may have hurt you once, but your mind continues the hurt every time you refuse to let it go. Forgiving her ends that cycle. It severs the invisible chain that keeps her actions tied to your heart. In that release, you take back control. You are no longer a prisoner of what she did. In conclusion, forgiveness restores emotional independence and returns control back to you. Some men believe that by forgiving, they excuse bad behavior. That is a misconception. Forgiveness is not about saying what she did was right. It's about choosing not to let her actions define your future. You can forgive and still set boundaries. You can forgive and still walk away. Forgiveness means you stop carrying her mistakes as your burden and you allow yourself to heal fully. It is an act of self-respect, not self-betrayal. In conclusion, forgiveness is about releasing yourself, not excusing others. Resentment, if left unchecked, slowly destroys a man's ability to love again. If you don't forgive, every future relationship becomes clouded by suspicion and fear. You begin to see every woman through the lens of past pain, punishing others for mistakes they never made. Forgiveness cleanses the heart, making room for healthier connections in the future. Without it, you risk living in constant distrust and isolation. Healing requires a clean slate, and only forgiveness provides it. In conclusion, forgiveness is the doorway to love and trust beyond heartbreak. Forgiveness also enhances mental clarity. A mind filled with grudges cannot focus on success, goals, or dreams. Because it is constantly distracted by the past. When you forgive, your mind becomes lighter, sharper, and more productive. You are no longer drained by endless scenarios of what if and why. Instead, your mental energy can be directed toward building, creating, and thriving. Or forgiveness clears away the mental clutter, making space for peace and progress. In conclusion, forgiveness sharpens focus by freeing the mind from unnecessary weight. Or the act of forgiving also strengthens resilience. Each time you overcome pain through forgiveness, you build emotional muscle. Life will always bring challenges and betrayals, but the ability to release hurt instead of carrying it makes you unbreakable. You learn to face pain without letting it harden your heart. Or forgiveness becomes a shield that guards your inner peace no matter what life throws at you. A man who forgives is a man who cannot be destroyed by bitterness. In conclusion, forgiveness builds resilience that outlasts all heartbreak. Forgiveness should not be rushed, but chosen consciously. You may need time to process the pain, but eventually, holding on only delays your growth. Forgiveness is not a single moment. It is a decision you reaffirm every time bitterness tries to return. Or each time you choose peace over resentment, you strengthen yourself. It is not about forgetting, but about choosing not to let the memory control you. That choice is the essence of freedom. In conclusion, forgiveness is a daily decision to choose peace over pain. Ultimately, forgiveness is about liberation. It is setting yourself free from the prison of anger, revenge, and regret. The woman who hurt you may never apologize or even acknowledge the pain she caused. But you do not need her apology to move forward. You free yourself by releasing her hold on your emotions. The reward is peace, clarity, and strength. A man who forgives is not chained by the past, but empowered for the future. In conclusion, forgiveness is the final step toward freedom and inner strength.